The Masters of the Universe trailer are going to be dropping tomorrow. Give a little minor teaser. What's that going to look like? Jensen Ackles still wants to play Batman. Is he going to get close? Do we think he could be Batman Brave and the Bold? Then I saw something else that seems like another potential TV series that was going to happen for Star Wars isn't going to happen. Does that make sense with the recent news? And lastly, but certainly not least, I had a chance to speak with UFC vet Keith Jardine, the Dean of Mean. Not only did we talk about the stuff that he went through in his career, but he also talked about what he's doing now. Acting, directing, writing, really inspiring for people who want to do this thing, especially as I'm kind of gearing up towards doing my pilot. It was a pretty interesting chat, so I think you're going to enjoy that. So that's what we're doing here today on the show. It's myself and myself. So let's get into it. And I have a very important question.
Did you shit in there?
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Kristian Harloff here today on this show, all by myself, by my lonesome, on this Wednesday. And if you missed yesterday's show, boy, did you miss a good one. On the Clips channel, we put it out there as that clip, Mike, in the middle of his, I don't know, one of our things we were talking about, his dog pooped in his bed, and it gave just the best comedic moments ever. And I'm happy to say that the clip is doing well on the Clips channel. So that made me happy to hear. Randomly, Sam, if you watch the channel for everything besides just the live shows, you know who Sam is. And she texted me and she said, that clip with Mike was hilarious. I said, how'd you see that? She was like, the algorithm popped it up in my in my feed, and I saw it. I clicked on it, and she's like, I was laughing hysterically. So really, really good. And it gave us this gem. I think that if somebody has a really bad take, I'm going to do this.
Did you shit in there?
That's, to me, perfect. I mean, perfect. It's the best. It's the best clip. If you missed it yesterday, you really should see it. All you got to do is if you go, Mike, I think it's like Mike's dog shit the bed or something. Is what the clip is called, and it was like, limited monetization, and I couldn't care less. It's worth putting up there for everybody to see. So I really hope we get an opportunity to win this week, or at least get close to winning this week with a good Q&A with you guys. But, traditionally Wednesdays are usually slower. People come in. The real G's come in to hang out on Wednesdays is the way that I like to put it. So all the real fans are here today. That's the way I say it. You don't come in on Wednesdays, you're like as the WWE people say, you're like a part-timer. You come in on Wednesdays, you're legit. You got cred. Anyway, so there was some news that we'll talk about. I think actually the first thing that I do want to talk about, I know that we kind of headlined with the Brave and the Bold news, which is interesting, but I would like to talk about this because Star Wars it's in the news right now, right? The change of leadership, where's it going to go? What's going to happen? What's the direction going to be? So might as well discuss. So Rick Famuyiwa's Star Wars TV show apparently is in limbo. Lucasfilm's Mandoverse shows like The Mandalorian and Ahsoka have a number of regular directors at this point. One of the biggest go-to helmers outside of Jon Favreau is Rick Famuyiwa, who has helmed 6 episodes of The Mandalorian and the first season finale of Ahsoka. He scored a lot of acclaim in his work on those episodes, and it turns out he was lining up another Star Wars TV show, which sadly fell apart. The Wrap reports that Famuyiwa has been quietly working on his own mystery Star Wars series for the Disney Plus service, one that has sadly become stuck in limbo. With Kathleen Kennedy's exit from Lucasfilm, various projects in development at the company now seem to have stalled. At last report, Favreau still reportedly wants to do a 4th season of The Mandalorian set after the film. Filoni's Mandoverse team up film is on the back burner for now, and there aren't any plans for more The Acolyte or Skeleton Crew. Outside of Star Wars, Lucasfilm has seemingly abandoned plans for both a young Abner Ravenwood series set in the Indiana Jones verse, along with a series of animated shorts from Rodrigo Blas set between films. Okay, so I think what he has done overall for why does it do that? Why does it do that? Who? Why? And no chance, no time that I change that. So stupid. I didn't change that. Me. Who needs that? I don't need that. Ridiculous. So I think that this, as much as I really liked what he did and what he brought to certain things, what did I tell you? Certain things that happen in Star Wars, what Rick has done, I think has been a very welcome addition. There's a lot of stuff that he did that I wasn't a fan of. There's a lot of stuff he did in Mandalorian that I was a fan of. So to see him get a show made sense. He knows the Star Wars world. It made sense. To see that the show is not happening also makes sense. And it's not just because, although a very big reason would be that Kathleen Kennedy is leaving, different plans. But also, I think Iger wants to get away from the TV shows. I think that it would make sense, and I think Favreau will probably get a fourth season to close up, especially if Mandalorian and Grogu delivers. And again, what it needs to deliver on, as we've been hearing with budgets and everything too. The movie costs what, $130 million to make, whatever it was, $140 million to make. So it needs to make just around, what is it, 150, another 100 or whatever for two. So it means to make like $350, $400 million to break even, right? I believe it'll break even, and I believe it'll make a little money. It's not going to make $1 billion. It's certainly not going to make $2 billion. It's not going to make that kind of money. But if it delivers in that 450, 500 million, it would justify, okay, we'll let you close out The Mandalorian, and that's done. Let's be done with it. And I think the strategies will change. And I think, like, jumping back into what we said about Kathleen Kennedy was there. And that's right, yeah. And Rick is he's a third EP on Mando as well, so he's still involved very much in that show, and probably will have a lot more to do. And that might be the overall strategy. Is like, look, we're going to stop putting out kind of new things right now because the newer things aren't really working, and we're going to put together a plan first, and maybe there'll be new things down the future, and we can expand on that. But for right now, let's just kind of go with our plan, which our plan is let's put out Mandalorian and Grogu. We'll do another season. That's our next season of television, right? Because the Lando thing was a TV show at one point, then it was a movie. Nobody really knows what it is. There's no movement on the shows or anything else right now. The movies, as they said, even Filoni's movie is on the back burner right now because they don't really know what's going to happen with Ahsoka season 2. I'm sure Lucasfilm was happy with Ahsoka season 2, but the ratings were not great. They were fine, and they didn't have the kind of buzz, say, like an Andor did, critically and that type of stuff. So if season 2 is an improvement on that, and what the reports are that they're not shooting that one at the volume, they're shooting it at real locations, that should change at least the feel and the tone of it, I hope. But if that delivers, and we're able to move forward of saying, okay, Mandalorian season 4 is done. Ahsoka season 2 delivered, and it's popular, and people are talking about it, and Mandalorian and Grogu got people excited again about that universe. Then you probably start to hear the chatter get a little louder when it comes to that Filoni movie, if it indeed does. But if the interest is like no one really cares about this anymore, then it'll probably just fall onto the back burner, and the plan will shift. And that will also test the leadership of the two new leaders and say, okay, that didn't work. The plan didn't work in the way that we were hoping for with Ahsoka and everything too, but that was kind of still part of the old stuff we were doing. What do we do now? How do we move forward now? So greenlighting things and going forward with things that were just on the back burner, you got to scrap it all. And I think that is a good sign in general, whether it was an Iger move, a Filoni move, who knows, whatever it was, it's like, let's just wait, take it simple, because we're going to get aggressive pretty soon. They will get aggressive pretty soon. You'll start to see more announcements, more like the first big project that's going to happen after Starfighter, which I think they're going to go full force into this Simon Kinberg trilogy. You're going to get more information about it. The question will be, is Kinberg producing it? Is Kinberg doing the story? Is Kinberg writing the script? That would scare me. Him writing the story would be interesting. Him developing, because people don't realize that him and Filoni created Rebels together, that story and everything too. He's very good at Star Wars stories in the same way that Filoni's very good at Star Wars stories. Let's get some real writers in there. And that's not fair to say to Kinberg. He's a real writer. You know what I mean? Let's get some writers who have a better track record. That I like to rephrase the way I said that, because Simon Kinberg is a real writer. But let's get somebody with a better track record to write the scripts, all three of them. And then let's get three different directors who are following, or you could get the same director, but if you're going to get three different directors, follow the guideline of what's coming out. Don't start, make your own style to it, but follow the guideline. We have A, B. That's it. We're just going to follow this road, and we're going to get there. And we need you to do it. We need your skills to get us there. Don't start making things up. Well, what's the first movie? Oh, it did really well. What are we going to do for the second one? Get that guy. What's he going to do? Whatever he wants. What about that one? We'll let so-and-so write it. And they're going to write it. They're going to write it a lot. Oh, yeah. They got a good script, and they followed the other guys. Great. The other guy wants to come back from the first one. Oh, yeah? Yeah, and he doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to do his own thing. Didn't like what the last guy did. Not going to combine it at all. Great. He's back. Cool. He made $1 billion. He made $2 billion. Let's do it. Can't do that anymore. Have to have the narrative from start to finish and put together an overall plan. And that's what Filoni does bring to the table. For as hard as I am on Filoni, what Filoni does do, I'm not going to and never would debate with anyone that says Dave Filoni doesn't understand the essence and core of Star Wars and what a Star Wars story is. Storytelling. It's a great storyteller. And if he can say, well, we really want to focus on how we're going to play into this time period, this narrative, and we're going to do a couple films there, and then maybe we'll jump back, and maybe that's why the Mangold thing isn't happening. Maybe it's like, look, we're not going there yet. We're going to really, because it's too much, especially for someone who doesn't have any experience in the producing realm of things, or running a company, to say, I can't start taking meetings with people and you're throwing into that timeline and you're doing that timeline. I'm focusing here. We've got 3 big movies that we're going to do with Kinberg. And we're going to tease them a little bit in this Starfighter one to set up where we're going. And that, to me, gives me some confidence. Then I know I can rely on my buddy Jon Favreau to finish up another TV show here with that. If Ahsoka goes really well, then I can focus in on my movie. We can do a finale there. And then they have a slate for a little bit. They've got a slate for a new trilogy if they wanted one with Kinberg. If that rolls well, they got 3 movies, and that will come out every, 1 or 2 years, depending on how they do it. They've got 1, maybe 2 TV shows. And then it's slow, simple, steady. That's a good plan, and gets your feet kind of set before you go. What you can't do if you're Lewin and Filoni is you cannot say, let's go big, 2, 3 movies a year. Dumb. Just because you can't handle that yet. Kathleen Kennedy, with her experience, couldn't handle that, because you didn't have the hold on it yet. So don't do that. So that's my my thoughts on that show being canceled or being put back. So we'll see. 4 big questions so far. Hopefully we'll see what we can get by the end of the show. Make sure you put them out there. Let's talk about this story with Jensen Ackles, because a lot of people have been talking about Brave and the Bold. There's a new report that just came out. I guess Snyder talked about the writer that is coming out. Then they're still saying that Andy Muschietti is directing. I was pretty convinced, and I'm still convinced that I don't think he's going to do the series, but I think he might have bought himself a little time or goodwill with what he did with Welcome to Derry. I think we were talking about this the other day. This town is such a well, not this town that I live in, but the town of Hollywood or whatever, is such a what have you done for me lately type of town. It just is. It's like, okay, you got a big hit, then you're in. We love you. Great. You got everything you're going to do. We got you. Big movies. Here you go. And then during that time, you had a movie that hits. You stink. No one likes you. Get out of here. You're the worst. And it kind of happened with Muschietti, right? So Muschietti had It, Chapter 1, Chapter 2. This guy's great. Sign him up. Here we go. Do a movie. Take the Flash. Run with it. And he did. Pun intended. And it didn't do good with fans. It didn't go to anybody else too. I'm one of the few people, like I said, there's a lot about that movie I like. There's a lot that I don't like. Um, I I I really like Andy Muschietti. I have a strong issue with the way that A, he handles CGI sometimes, and B, the way he defends it. That's my biggest issue there. But Welcome to Derry was incredible. It's a great show. It's a great show. One of my favorite shows so far, or I guess of last year, right? It was one of my favorite shows. I never did a list of it, but it would have been up there. It probably would have been my top three. Great show. Between Task, that one, Severance was the other one, Andor, some great stuff last year. And Welcome to Derry would easily be in there. But I could also see him. I don't want to do this DCU thing. I don't know, but I could see why he's probably got goodwill now because Warner Brothers produced Welcome to Derry. Happy with it. They're doing more seasons, but that's another reason maybe that he's not going to be involved in Batman because Welcome to Derry is going to probably go into production, pre-production at least pretty soon, and they want to get those shows out sooner than later, and it takes a while to shoot those things. He directed a handful of the first season that were great. So I feel like he's still not going to do it. But not because of like he's not the right guy for the job. I think that well, I guess in a certain aspect, not that he's not capable, just like maybe this is you want to do this? You're so good at that other thing. Do that. And I think that's ultimately what he's going to do. But that's not our story here today. The story is now that the brave and the bold, Jensen Ackles reaffirms he's interested in playing the DCU's Bruce Wayne / Batman. Well, of course he's interested. Why wouldn't he be interested? Boys star Jensen Ackles has once again said he'd like to take a shot at playing the DCU's Batman, while Misha Collins has shared his thoughts on Sebastian Stan being the Batman Two-Face. Warner Brothers originally planned to end the Flash with Michael Keaton's Batman in the DCU. He'd have gone on to appear in Batgirl and Batman Beyond, eventually meeting Ben Affleck's Cape Crusader in Crisis on Infinite Earths. DC Studios scrapped those plans and will hopefully introduce the DCU's Batman in Andy Muschietti's The Brave and the Bold. That movie was expected to feature Bruce Wayne's training his son Damian as Robin, adapting elements from Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's critically acclaimed Batman and Robin. However, James Gunn has since hinted that the movie will head in a different direction, and with Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2 currently a priority, The Brave and the Bold appears to be going nowhere fast. For many fans, the boys star Jensen Ackles remains a firm favorite to play the DCU's Cape Crusader. He's also no stranger to the role, having lent his voice to the hero in multiple DC animated projects, including Tomorrowverse, movies like Batman The Long Halloween, Legion of Superheroes, Justice League Warworld, and Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths. Ackles, once a fan favorite choice for the role of Captain America, has repeatedly expressed an interest in playing the Dark Knight. Appearing at the Road So Far, the Road Ahead convention in Las Vegas this weekend, he said yes. He said there are probably a few dream roles. Yes, somebody up here yelled Batman. Yes, that is certainly a dream role. I mean, I've got a few go-to. Batman, Wyatt Earp, Robin Hood, that kind of stuff. Ackles added, making his enthusiasm clear. Whether Gunn is paying attention is another matter, though fans are growing increasingly impatient with the lack of casting updates. Misha Collins was also on hand on the panel and shared his take on Sebastian Stan playing Two-Face in the Batman sequel. Supernatural alum previously brought Harvey Dent to life in the CW's short-lived Gotham Knights TV series. So playing Two-Face was a dream role. Sebastian Stan just got cast as Two-Face in the next movie, which I did not feel jealous about. I was like, and if he were to meet with an accident they needed to find, I'd certainly free up my schedule to make myself available. You know what's so funny? I'm convinced. I have absolutely no confirmation on this unless I get an interview with Misha Collins at some point. But there's a comedy set that I have on this channel, I guess it was like 2007. And there was a guy sitting in the front row that I address in the set. And if you see the set, you can see it on the channel. But I asked the guy what his name is, and he says Misha. And he was with his significant other, and I look at the picture here, and I'm like, I think that I can't remember, but I think that's the guy. I think I was talking to Misha Collins I talked to Misha for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes out of the set. And I said, "What's your name?" He said, "Misha." I said, "Misha." This is a very rare name. Not that nobody else is named Misha. but I just feel like where I was in California at that time, what was happening, I feel like it was Misha Collins. I'm going to find that out. It's one of the things I'm going to find out eventually. I'm going to show him that clip. I'm going to go, was that you? And he's going to say, no, you idiot. There's like 7,000 Mishas in Hollywood. It wasn't me, moron. So anyway, yeah, Misha Barton, right. But it was a guy. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times Misha is not that it's not both. It's typically you think of Misha Barton, you think of, so Misha Collins, when he was sitting, I'm telling you, I think it was Misha Collins. If anybody ever interviews Misha Collins, show him that clip and ask him and find out for me. Or somebody just send it to him. Send him that clip. I will give somebody a reward if they get an answer to it. If they get an answer to that question, whether it's no or yes, I'll find a way to get a good reward to somebody. I don't know what it is, but I'll do it. Did you say hi? Nice to Misha. I like that. You know me very well. You know that the stupid things that make me laugh, that was going to be one of them.
Did you shit in there?
So anyway, I think that when it comes to this whole brave and the bold thing, as I said, I think the mistake was don't announce things until you're ready to let them go. Well, we're going to do a Batman movie and it's going to be brave and the bold and Damian Wayne's going to be in it. You don't know that yet. You don't even have a script. Don't do that. That's what Star Wars did for so long. Don't do it until you have that script and you're like, I know that's what you want to do. And I know, it'd be so great to do a Brave and the Bold movie and get Damian Wayne there. Don't announce it. Coming from someone who announces shit way too early, don't do it. It doesn't go anywhere. And it just causes disappointment. And now it looks like that's not going to happen, that movie in general. I don't think Brave and the Bold, that movie itself, there's clearly going to be a DCU Batman. There has to be if DCU continues on. But it ain't going to be Brave and the Bold. It ain't going to be Muschietti. At least I don't think so from the way that it's moving, because the answer, I think James Gunn was right. You don't release two Batman movies in the same year from different, if one's a DCU and one's an Elseworlds, you just don't do it. You just don't do it. I don't think it makes sense. I think it's an error. What do you guys make of it? What do you think? Yes? No? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. All right. Let's get to, I'm going to tell you about our friends over at Mars Men. Tell us about our friends over at Leesa. Check it out. All right. So if you've been following my journey, I've been really hitting the gym for the last year or so and making sure, as I get older, that I'm doing things right. And I was feeling the change as I was getting older, and everything that was easy beforehand, it just wasn't anymore. I don't really talk about it a lot, but I guess I should talk about it now. I think it started to really hit me about 5 years ago. And now, even as I was starting to work out, I could feel it. No matter if I was eating well or whatever, I felt like there was, sometimes I was just kind of, slugging along. And nobody really tells you about it as you get older. One day you're crushing it. Next day you're wondering why everything feels twice as hard. And I think some people your testosterone, it lowers as you get older. And here's the thing. Most men start losing testosterone around age 30. About 1% every year after that. So when the new year hit this year, I was like, wait a minute. I got to feel energized again. I don't want to feel worn down. I got this pilot coming up. I want to really hit these things hard. So I keep it simple, and I'm doing something natural that supports my body where I need it. And that was why I was excited to hear about Mars Men. What is it? It helps your body unlock usable testosterone so you can feel like yourself again. Because what I learned about it was that your body makes testosterone, but a lot of it gets locked up and it can't be used. And there's a protein called SHBG. It basically handcuffs your testosterone. Even if your body's making it, SHBG locks it up. You can't access it. It's like having money in the bank, but your debit card is not working. So Mars Men is designed to help free lock testosterone so your body can actually use it. There's no synthetics, there's no needles, just real ingredients that help optimize energy, focus, and strength. What's great about it is there's now stronger physical performance, fast recovery from the gym, more consistent, natural energy. It's not like drinking a cup of coffee. It's a steadier sense of drive throughout the day. Supports healthy T levels, energy, stamina. 8 natural clinically dosed ingredients, made in the USA, and it's third-party tested. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk with that. So the worst case is you don't like it. and you get your money back. But over 91% of users report higher energy levels. Thousands of guys are feeling incredible results. Just check out the reviews on the website and go check it out yourself. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping, 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. Perfect way to kick off the new year strong. That's mengotomars.com. You get 50% off and 3 free gifts at the checkout. So you're going to purchase, and then they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You got to support our show, and you got to tell them that we sent you. Go check it out. Mars Men. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have a really good mattress to change your night's sleep. And I realized this when I got my daughter a Leesa, and it's got a soft upscale feel. She looks forward now going to sleep because of this mattress. Leesa has a lineup of beautifully crafted mattresses tailored to how you sleep. Now, each mattress is designed with specific sleep positions and feel preferences in mind. Leesa mattresses are meticulously designed and assembled in the USA for exceptional quality. Plus, they back it all up with free shipping, easy returns, and a 120-night sleep trial. Leesa's been tested and awarded Best Hybrid Mattress by New York Times Wirecutter and is exclusively featured by West Elm as their go-to mattress partner. It's not just about sleep, it's about impact. They donate thousands of mattresses each year to those in need while also partnering with organizations like Clean Hub to help remove harmful plastic waste from our oceans. It's a game changer. My daughter, who doesn't really pay much attention to anything except their phone and iPad right now, was like, guys, this mattress is pretty great. You want it to be great? Go to Leesa, Leesa.com for 25% off. Plus, you're getting an extra $50 off with that promo code Kristian, exclusive for my listeners. That is Leesa.com. You got to use that promo code Kristian for 25% off mattresses, plus an extra $50 off. Support the show and let them know that we sent you after checkout. That is also very important. Leesa.com, promo code Kristian. I mentioned last week when I was talking with Steph, so I became a huge fan of the UFC back in obviously 93 I watched when it was all going down, but in 2005 it had the Ultimate Fighter and really hit the scene. I was a big boxing guy for a long time. And then when I was at the Comedy Store, I remember, and I've told this story, where Rogan used to talk to us all the time about how it was going to blow up. It was going to be the next thing. And I remember watching the Ultimate Fighter and really learning all these cast of characters and getting invested in it because of the way they were doing it. And one of the guys during that era that I watched was a guy named Keith Jardine. And so I had the pleasure of actually meeting Keith because you guys know I produced Matt Serra's show. And he came in and he was like, I was like, yeah, because if you watch UFC and you especially watch during that era, Keith left it all in the fucking cage, man. And he really did. And he's done the same thing with his career now as a writer, director, actor. And he was talking on Matt's show about his movie, Kill Me Again. And now it was premiering in New York when he was on Matt's show. But now it's out. People can see it. And I'm lucky to be talking to Keith Jardine. What's up, Keith? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing really good.
It's good. Yeah, it's good to have you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So yeah, let's talk about the movie first. Let's talk about
Kill Me Again.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So for the audience that didn't, because a lot of my audience, if they're watching Matt's show, they might know about it. If they didn't see Matt's show, you're hearing it for the first time. So tell them what's Kill Me Again about.
Man, it's real simple. It's Kill Me Again's Groundhog's Day. A time loop. Guy living the day, same day over and over and over again. But it's a time loop from the perspective of a serial killer.
That's crazy. So where do you go? So when you're thinking of that, because obviously you're a big movie guy, and like I do the same thing where it's like, okay, it's like you said, Groundhog Day and Mind of a Serial Killer, but like I'm working on that thing right now, and I'm like, it's like Hacks meets the Bear, right? So with you, you're like, okay, this movie, you take a lot of inspiration. Where's the inception for the movie?
I have other movies that have legs, but I'm not going to direct them. I'm not going to produce them. So I need to do a movie now so I can do my other movies.
Okay.
And so now I do something contained. So I need to find a location. How do I stay in the local location? So we just repeat the same day over and over and over again. And from then I just, I put a guy in a situation. I put him in a diner and I develop the character and he kind of tells me what's going to happen. I write linear that way for the most part.
Isn't that fun how that happens too? Like when you're writing and it's just like, you feel it's like this surreal experience, like they're existing in your head, and you're like, oh, I can put that, and now everybody else gets to see it.
Man, yeah. When things start tying together, it's like, oh shit, that's it, man. And you can't write fast enough because you want to get to this in the end and all that. That's the best feeling. That's a high, man. That's the highest of high, man. I write every day, no matter what. Since I started doing this, man, no matter what, I put my 2 hours in this morning. No matter what, and a lot of time it's just garbage, you know.
Is it similar to you for like when you were fighting, right? To where you're consistently working out and you need to stay fresh, you need to stay active because it keeps you in the game.
Yeah, it started that way with acting, you know. When I started taking acting seriously, I'm trying to make a living as an actor, and I realized that these guys, you know, they went to college and theater and all this stuff for acting, and some are child actors, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, here I am. I'm an actor. Put me in your movie, you know. But I'm working like I get an audition. That's work. Maybe I'll work on a scene study once a week, maybe. And then I started thinking, man, I need to be putting my hours in, just like fighting every day on this thing.
Yeah. And
then I started doing that. And once I started doing that, I started getting better roles and stuff like that. And that now it's turned to, I started grinding metal at that. Like I wasn't really improving at that. And then so I started writing, and that turned into writing, and writing made me a better actor than any of the acting practice.
Oh, I'm sure, because you're exploring the mental awareness of the characters and really going into the psyche of it. So it gives you that research, right?
And every time you write, every time you sit down writing, you're acting.
Right.
Yeah. And you're talking to yourself, you're talking to whatever, and you're ad-libbing, you're acting.
For various characters too. Yeah, for sure. So, you know, I remember so I used to work at Collider. I don't know how familiar you are with Collider, but I worked there for a while, and I remember I was supposed to interview The Rock for it was a Jumanji movie, but I wasn't able to make it. So my friend John Roca had gone in my stead. And I said, the one question I'd like you to ask him too is because wrestlers, very similar to fighters, like they have this discipline and they're always traveling and they're moving around, that it's like you have this discipline that if you're good at it, you have this discipline. And ask The Rock if he adds that discipline to his acting schedule, and is that what allows him to be able to work as much as he does and write as much, you know, like, so same question to you. Do you find yourself in the way that you would train for like a fight, when you had a big fight, do you take that same level of, discipline and add that to your craft now?
100%. Like, just like this death is like having every day I can do whatever I want, and I don't have any schedule or rigid thing. Like for a person like me, that's death, you know. Like I can't sit in front of the TV in the middle of the day, watch TV. I can't. I need structure, and fighting saved my life. It gave me that structure, and then now the movie business did, and I had to put that time in. It has to be rigid, or else, I get a little crazy with it, honestly.
I'm sure. I mean, you answered just a lot with just that, because a lot that you just said, I want to go back to. Let's start with what you said with fighting saved your life, right? Like, how so?
Yeah. I got to a point in my life. I was coaching football, and I was done playing football, and I was actually coaching football at a pretty good level. I was at D2 college as a D coordinator, but I was still, I wouldn't say jealous, but like I still feel like I'm an athlete and all that, and then I'm not a violent guy at all.
Okay. Like, how old were you at the time, if I can ask?
Late 20s.
Okay.
Like 27, 28. Okay. I'm not a violent guy at all. Like people that know me, I'm not a violent guy, but all of a sudden I'm in the bar at night, and somebody looks at me the wrong way, and I'm starting to get turned into a little bit of bully.
Okay. Is there some anger in you?
Yeah, you got that fire inside of you, right?
Yeah.
And I used to get it. I got it out with wrestling in high school. I got it out with football, and that's what these martial arts is great for kids, and men especially, that have high testosterone or whatever. Like, you got to find a way to get that out and bump up against other similar people.
Sure.
And I wasn't there, and I wasn't getting it out. And then one night I got and almost got in a fight, and it was totally my fault, and it didn't happen. But then this isn't it, man. So I went and I started playing. I played a rugby game the next day. Never played rugby before, and I started going to grappling tournaments, wrestling tournaments. Like, I went to like Olympic Training Center. Like, I would go to like a wrestling tournament, and like I'd show up unattached for like the Olympic trials.
Sure.
In Las Vegas, or like these world-class tournaments in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center. And all the other coaches, what the hell are you doing?
Well, that's ballsy as shit.
Yeah.
So, but that's like you looking for something that you just mentioned it before, where you just couldn't you can't sit on the couch.
Yeah.
You need activity, and that was you trying to find what the fuck am I supposed to be doing right now?
That's it, man. That's it. And now, strangely, that's something not way more competitive than anything I ever did is this movie business.
Yeah.
Way more competitive. Everybody has a script in their back pocket. Everybody's trying to get something made. Everybody's trying to do something. And everybody's trying to find a reason why you can't do it.
Yeah.
But now I get fulfilled in that. I miss boxing. I miss grappling so much.
Well, that's what I say. So going back to that, so you find this route that you're going on now, and like you said, you didn't want to be the guy fighting in bars and shit, and you knew that there was something better out there for you. So you go into these tournaments, and at what point does that change into, all right, because this is probably around the 2004, 2005 area, like that?
For the UFC?
Yeah, that's when you jump into it.
I got in the UFC 2005. I moved to, we got a new coach, and my path was I'm not going to be coaching here anymore. So now my life is like, wow, what are we going to do now? I got all these student loan debt and all that, and so I come to Albuquerque, and before that, I started training. When I was doing the wrestling, I told you there was a grappling group there. They were doing jiu-jitsu, and I always watched UFC. I love UFC, and hey, I got this wrestling tournament. You guys, is at the rec center. I would go in to work out, and I'd see people on the mat grappling. I was, hey, can I grapple with you guys?
Yeah.
And I started to get better with them real quick. And the guy that guy learned from was Greg Jackson in Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. And so I moved to Albuquerque, and
it's a good camp to get into.
Well, back then it was nothing though, really.
Yeah.
Back then it was just they did some Vale Tudo fights. They had some guys there, and Greg was just whatever. Like they were doing grappling tournaments and barely any fights. And so I moved up there. I met Greg twice, and I moved up to to train with Greg. Yeah. But my path was I'm either gonna join the military and maybe try to do some sort of special forces thing. And
I could see that though. I could see that. Yeah.
But then I was like, well, okay, I'm going to give this fighting thing try for a year. Yeah. And then that year became 2 years.
Worked out pretty good. Yeah, no shit, man. Yeah. So like as I was mentioning in the intro, so that's like right around that boom was when you were on season 2, yeah?
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah. So I because that boom, I was hooked at that point. Like, so I don't know if you know the story with Sarah and I. So basically, when I was watching UFC at that point, I had been working for Joel Silver production company, Warner Brothers for a bit, but I stopped to do my own shit, like do a pilot and everything, just stuff that you can obviously relate to. But I was stand-up comedy and everything too, but I was like making money by betting on the UFC. Yeah. And at that point, it was a lot easier to do because the boxing, they still didn't know how to do the odds. So like the boxing odds, it's like, okay, if so-and-so is a favor, majority of the time the favor is going to win. But in UFC, I was like, wait, after watching the show, I'm like, it ain't that easy. I'm like, somebody can grab your leg, and I don't care how good you are at striking, someone grabs your leg, that's it. So the opposite was Sarah. When I was watching, I was like, this guy's hungry, dude, and he was a massive underdog. And so I bet on him, and I won big. And I talked about him on Collider Live years later, and on UFC Unfiltered, he watched Collider Live because he's a big movie guy, And so we linked up. But that time, dude, at that era, there were just so many, like, really, there's so much raw talent. And then you get the Forrest Griffin and the late Stephen Bonner with that fight that just kind of took it to the next level. So you're coming into season 2 after the shit's really starting to pick up. Did you think, though, like this was going to get to the level that it's at now with the UFC?
Not when I first started.
Yeah.
When I first started, I just wanted to go, I thought it would be like, they call it dojo stomping or whatever, where I thought we'd just go to another dojo and like fight other people that are trained to fight.
Yeah, right.
The UFC was, and I thought about fighting in Japan. That seemed really awesome to me.
With Pride?
Yeah. And there's pancrase or things.
Yeah.
On there, yeah. So, but Diego did the first season, and Diego became a superstar away, overnight. And I was like, absolutely, I'll go on season 2 and do that thing. And that was like prison for me. I did not want to do that. Like, I'm not.
Oh, because of the way they contain like reality TV shows aspect. You don't have your phones, you can't do shit, right?
6 weeks with a bunch of men, and it's like you're gonna fight them. And I'm not a very social guy, anyways. Right. And like it was tough, man. It was really tough for me.
I'm sure it was, but I mean, but that's it. Also, but does that again bring out that fire like because maybe it starts a little bit of like like you said, it's just you're essentially imprisoning it's every man for himself.
I'll tell you something I learned about myself. If you look at my fighting career, and it plays with the movie stuff now too, big time. All my fights when it's like Chuck Liddell, Rampage, Forrest, all those guys. I didn't beat Rampage, but it was a hell of a fight. Whenever they say, "Oh, Keith can't do it," it's not going to happen. I would shine in those moments. Yeah. But whenever it was like some bum, quote unquote, like Keith should have no problem, I had a lot of problem with those kind of fights. So it's when you told me I can't do it, that's when I shine.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Matt says that a lot too, right? Yeah. It's like because I think that kind of the definition of ultimately what a fighter is it's like the more you doubt me, the more I want to prove to myself, more so than just you. I want to prove that I can do this, and I know that I can do this. Right.
That's the beauty of that area where Matt comes from. For the pre-reality guys, people are fighting before the reality show. Yeah, like you're not starting to train because you want to be a superstar. You're starting to train because you're trying to find that fire in yourself. You're trying to find something. You're trying to, and what better way to prove that you are somebody than like you're this great fighter? We all have something to prove. Yeah. And the beautiful thing about MMA and fighting, like what you kind of alluded to earlier, is even today, having that fire and that hunger trumps technique every time, and almost every time. And this is the only sport where that's really true. Like in boxing, the best boxer is going to win. Right. And whatever sport, in football, the best quarterback is going to be the best quarterback. Mm-hmm. But that cliche about the desire to win, the wanting it more, and having that drive and everything, I don't know why, but in MMA that really plays true. And you see it happen in people's careers. Look at Conor. Yeah. When Conor McGregor came up, like I was hating, everybody was hating on him, but he was like, "I'm going to show the world. I'm going to prove all you guys that I'm the best there ever was," and all that. And he believed it, and until he was the best there ever was, and now he had to hold up to that, and now he's a movie star or whatever. Now he's a star in whatever realm, and now he's not fighting with that hunger anymore, and it changes. Yeah. And that's what could be. Even all those guys from Dagestan and all that, they have that hunger. They know what the other side looks like. And it also comes with youth too, right? So as you get older and young and dumb.
Yeah, right, 100%. Because then it's also there's more to it. Where I mean, I was just talking about this the other day with simple stuff with my friends, where it was like there's just going so stand-up comedy, which Matt Serra and I talk about this a lot too, where because he did it once before, and he's like, I felt that same rush that I did when I would fight, when I get in the cage. And I was like, yeah, it is similar to that because you're out there by yourself, really, for the most part. And one of the things I was talking about with my buddy is that when we were younger, we'd go out to the Comedy Store, we'd stay there until 2 or 3 in the morning, hanging out. And I'm like, now it's like you sit, you go home, and because you get older, and plus it's a young man's sport, that is too. So the one thing that I admire about both you and Matt and other people too, because it's not easier for whether it's boxers, MMA fighters, it's getting out in time, right? And getting out in the fact that you want to make sure you keep all your wits about you. You can do what you're doing now. You can go and you can act. You can do this. So at what point, because it's not easy to walk away. At what point did you know you're like, okay, I got it. It's time to do something else?
Well, first of all, I was blessed to fight when I was fighting, because in a way blessed, because I would have left the UFC if I was fighting in today's UFC.
Why is that? Because
when I was fighting, they didn't have that many fighters.
Okay.
And you're either on your way up, you're a gatekeeper, or you're on your way out. And when you're the gatekeeper, you're on your way out, basically. And once you put a few losses together, you're out. Yeah. And my last fight was Matt Hamill, and it was fight of the night. It was a great fight. I lost because of some stupid eye poke that wasn't really, shouldn't have been points deducted.
Right.
But anyways, I lost because so I'm out.
Oh wow!
Fight of the night, and I had a string of really good fights. But there were losses, but I had a couple. Quentin Jackson was fight of the night, one of the fights of the year.
Wow!
And so I'm out, and then I get back in and do strike force stuff. I had a stupid idea to go down to 85, just because I fought everybody, so why not go down to 85? And I got old real quick losing that weight, man. Like it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I fought Gracie, who was Ryan Gracie, I think, who's a really great fighter, but someone really tailor-made for me to fight in my quote-unquote prime, and lost that fight. And it was just like the writing was on the wall, right?
You knew.
Yeah. and I never retired. I just kind of stopped and tried to pursue acting. And honestly, that was the most depressed few years of my life.
Well, I was going to say, I don't want to jump over that because I think that's for a lot of people when they're doing one thing that they think that that's all that they are or all that they're doing. And then they try to, well, what else can I do? So let's start with
well, I'll tell you more about that.
Please.
And I'm a failure because I've trained all over the world. I go to Montreal. I train with George and all those guys. I trained in Colorado, which was the epicenter of a lot of that big guys back then with Shane Carlin and all that. And I knew how good I was.
Yeah.
I knew I could be world champion. I've beaten world champions. They just didn't have the belt.
Right. Yeah.
But so like I felt like my career's a failure at that point too, because I've always believed that I was going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How well? I mean, I can tell you first and foremost. I'm sure you definitely weren't a failure. I remember a lot of times watching. I said it in the intro. My buddy Adam and I were roommates. We knew when you were going out to fight, it was going to be a fucking brawl, dude. And especially, and I know Matt asked you about it too because there's that Viking video, which is the best, that dude. And we were like, oh, it's Jardine. But we knew that any single time you were in there, you left it in the cage, man. And so like those were always the most fun fights and fighters to watch. But to jump back on what you just said, let's talk. What's that conversation like though? Is it Dana that comes to you and says like, hey, look, that fight with Hamill was great, but like, we got to let you go. Like who has that conversation, or is it just like an email? How does that work?
Yeah. It's Joe Silva called me up.
Okay.
5 days later, and I saw him on my phone. And
you knew it was coming.
I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And it was pretty rough.
Okay.
But my mom just died a few days before that.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. But I never really said this before. Those were the most beautiful moments. My mom was always handicapped. She wasn't very well. She'd never been to my fight. And the Matt Hamill fight, like I made sure she went out and all that. And Dana took care of her, man. He was really great. He put her ringside. He didn't have to. I mean, she was right next to the cage.
That's awesome.
And all that. And she was so proud after that fight. Like, I remember coming out of the ring all bloody and all that. And, sorry, I didn't want whatever. She said, oh, no, she's so proud and all that stuff. And then she passed a few days later. And for her, like, I knew that was like it was time to, it was good time,
And she got to see you fight that in a really good fight. That's awesome.
And then I got the call 2 days, so that's why it wasn't really like I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know, yeah, okay.
But it was okay, and but you shared that moment kind of with your mom. So that is that.
And then I went and did this fight, stupid, like because I need to go fight right away. I gotta do this fight. I did this fight and against Prangley in Texas, and I lost that fight too. I came out, I did that fight, and I had it was a split decision. It was a good fight, but this were different back then. My first fight I ever fought, like I had a separated shoulder. I couldn't even do a push-up, but like I didn't know you could not fight. and that fight, like I got the worst migraine I've ever had that day. Like it's bad. I can't even hit mitts. Like when they whatever. Like I go to my knee. Like I can't do this. I couldn't even warm up.
Holy fuck! So you still went and you still go.
Well, I'm the main event. People bought a ticket, right? So you got to go out and do the thing.
Wow.
And then I had a really tough couple of rounds, and then he knocked me down, I think, at the end of the second round and completely cleared my head. And,
really?
And I went down and romped the last round.
Holy shit.
I had him like almost standing. They said he was standing, like he didn't go down, but like he'll admit it, like he was like out against the cage at the end of the round.
Oh shit. Yeah. And so he knocked the migraine out of it. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. All right. So to go back to what you were saying, that you knew that, okay, I'm just not, it's not time. I did what I had to do. Maybe I didn't get my title shot, everything too, but I know to step away.
Yeah.
So you step away, you decide, you said you didn't necessarily retire, you just kind of didn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But when do you say to yourself, similar to when, if we go back to the beginning of this conversation where you were playing football, you were doing stuff and then you needed to go find stuff. How do you find acting? How do you find directing? How do you discover and say, no, that's what I'm going, that's what I'm doing next?
I've always dreamed of being an actor. I didn't know what that meant. When I did the reality show, I remember the Spike TV guys, you got a really good look. Have you thought about acting? And I'm like, absolutely. I don't know what that means, whatever. But then when I fought Chuck Liddell, after I beat him, like 3 days 3 days later, I ran into Mark Devaney and Brian Taylor at a coffee shop scouting their movie. And they asked if I'd read for a part. And absolutely. I always wanted to do that.
And which movie was that?
It was Gamer with Jerry Butler.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they wrote me a little part in that, and I got my SAG card, and that was in 2007. So about probably 2010 or 11, and somewhere around there is when I stopped fighting.
Okay, so you stopped fighting. You already kind of at this point caught the bug. Whether it was you already had the interest in doing it, then Gamer comes along, and so when you're on the set of Gamer, like because a lot of times, and it's interesting. I mean, obviously know the answer to this question, but it's like when you're on set, because sometimes people have this idea of what acting is, an idea of what the business is, and then they really see it, and they see how long it takes for a shot, and they go, "Fuck this." It seems like that was the opposite for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I loved every bit of it. I loved everything from crafting. Wow, this food is amazing.
Right.
Everything, like they give it to you. Just being a part of it and just being a part of a team. That's really what it is. Like I got into stunts then too. Stunts saved my life because, I spent all my money flying to LA for auditions and all that, and then I started getting stunt jobs too. And goddamn, thank you, man. Like John Wick was a big one of the first big paydays I got. And really started paying the bills that way and gave me some security.
The first one?
The first John Wick, yeah.
So talk to me about that then. How because that series is one of my favorite action series of all time. So when you're working with Chad at that okay.
I was when I did that Gamer show, Darren Prescott was a stunt coordinator of that.
Okay.
And he's a big time second unit director, about to be a director right now. And again, I thank that guy so much. He saved my life because he kept calling me for jobs, and I happened to be in LA for an audition. I bombed, and hey, are you in LA right now by any chance? Yeah. He gave me the address to 8711, where the guys that did John Wick.
Yeah.
Hey, go over there and go talk to these guys. I went to the guys, and they did a little tryout, and then they gave me a part to be a little stunt acting.
That's
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
And so, and how much time did you spend on the set? For that one, a lot of the movie. Did you see the majority of it made?
I did a lot of the club stuff.
Okay.
All the club stuff. I was here for a week in Times Square. We shot the club scene. I got to see that. It was great.
So would you? I mean, like people talk because especially for that first movie,
I still get good residuals on that.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, man. Yeah. That movie. I mean, that movie delivered because that movie wasn't really. Keanu Reeves has this thing about him where it's like you look at. Where he comes, I just watched this whole thing. By the way, it's floating around on Instagram now. It'll probably pop up in your reels. But like they showed like the auditions for Bill and Ted.
Oh no!
Yeah. And like they showed like it was Alex Winter who was reading for Ted, and then it was like Pauly Shore was up for and almost got Ted at one point. Like and he didn't show up in this video until like towards the end. But once he does, he's on screen with Alex Winter, and it just like clicks, and you just see it and you watch it. But then. He hits with that. He was in Parenthood, but then Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted is what you think of as that moment. And Point Break and Speed, all these different movies that are popping up. But it's like, and then he's kind of out of, he's floating around for a little bit. And then The Matrix pops. And you're like, holy shit, this guy's he just won't stop being a big, huge movie star. And then The Matrix goes away. Like, you're never really going to top that. And here comes this little movie in John Wick. And and it's small, but it goes back to kind of old school action movies. But yet with this crazy, like, there was a gun fu that is what they call it. Yeah. And it was just because I just did a rewatch on the channel recently, and it's so solid. But when you're watching, like, people talk about how committed that dude is. Like, so yeah.
Fucking hey, man. And I would just watch him in awe, really. Like, I'm sitting in the cast chairs too and watch him. Like, he's so beat up from the motorcycle racing and all that, the crashes and all that, his back and all that stuff. Like, he's a stiff dude.
Yeah.
But not when he's doing action, right? And he trained hard for this. And I'd watch him like go do his thing and just do like even watching this. Is this gonna be a good movie? Like, what is this guy, Superman? Like, I didn't understand. Like, and then when I saw it, like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then watching just drag, it's like a fight. Like he just did a fight and he's dragging himself back to the chair and just sits there and like, oh. And then everything, and just see him get off the chair to go do another one. And it's like, wow, dude, this guy's tough. Man.
And that was 2014, and he's still, and probably when they shot it, 2013. So he's and he's still doing it now.
Yeah.
Dude, I get tired parallel parking.
He's just got that thing that some actors do, man, where like you just want to root for the guy. He's on screen and you want to root for him, man. He's got that thing.
He does. He's super likable. But going back to that, so when you were watching that movie from being on set, I guess you just kind of answered it, but did you think by the end of it, you're like, oh, that was a cool movie that I got to do, but did you think it was going to be what it was?
No way. I like the paycheck and I like these kind of movies and all that, but like when I see him crashing down to the falling from the 2 stories and crashing on the ground and getting up, continuing to fight, like I didn't understand it, right? And it read that way too, but then these guys see what 8711 is the Chad and they're amazing director, and everybody wants these guys, and they're really hot in Hollywood right now. But when back then, and Keanu gave him the start, he gave him the script. They were the fight coordinators in Hollywood. Like any big action movie, samurai movie, war movie, whatever. There's a certain kind of fighting style that happens throughout that whole movie. And they would train there for 2 months, whether gun work, jiu-jitsu, grappling, kickboxing, and they would design the fight with all the actors. Yeah. And that was them.
That was, I mean, didn't he meet, I think he met Chad during The Matrix, I think. I thought so.
Yeah, and I think they, I don't know their story, so I'll probably butcher it, but the story I heard is the samurai movie that Keanu did, The Last Samurai.
Was The Last Ronin?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It was a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah. I remember that.
It didn't do great. It was good. And he trained with them, and I think they were in line to do the whole action in that, and I think somebody underbid them. And they didn't get it in the end, and I felt like he owed them a favor or something. I heard this story.
Okay, but isn't that crazy though how that happens, right? Because that shit at the time they were probably bummed about it.
Yeah.
But then it leads them to this, and this is like it's definitely made Chad's career, you know, like for sure. And so speaking of that, so you're on set for this, the love of the movie business still is flowing through your veins at that point, even more so probably after being on that. So at what do any relationships come out of that? Plus, you know, obviously the from your friend.
A lot of great relationships.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the producers, Kale there, went to my LA screening of Kill Me Again.
Okay.
Loved it. One of the best experiences I had was the LA premiere of Kill Me Again. Just being in there, like Joe Carnahan there, like all these industry people are there, and watching them laugh throughout my whole movie and laugh throughout these are jaded Hollywood guys. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. And watching them react and the response afterwards, it's a great movie. I'm so proud of it, man. And because of that, I just met, I went to 8711 about a month ago and met with the guys out there, and now they're reading all my scripts. And,
I love that.
Maybe something will come out of it, you know.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Kill Me Again then, and because I remember when you were here, for Matt's show, and Matt, I got a chance, and by the way, thank you very much. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a screening or something too, but I was trying to get there. I couldn't make it. You invited me, very kind of you. But Matt really enjoyed it, man. Like, and he
talked about it on Rogan, which was great.
Yes, he did. Yeah. And you know, Matt, he's not gonna lie to you.
No,
he's not gonna lie. So like, I sent him because I had sent
That's
him
a good fucking movie, dog.
And he says, I was nervous because because if it's bad, I got to tell the guy it's fucking bad. It's like, but he texted me afterwards, like it was good, it was real good. So I was happy to hear it. I look forward to watching it because now it's available where.
That's on Prime and Tubi.
Great.
Yeah.
And so give me the cast. You're in it.
I'm in it. Brendan Fair's in it. Alejandro Delfino's in it. But I got Cowboys in it. Michelle Watterson does a great job in it. Karate Hottie. I gave all these Cowboys in it. I say Maurice Green is in it, the heavyweight fighter from UFC. But all these guys, I gave them like real roles. Like they're not like fighter roles. Like they're like Michelle's like a nurse and she does amazing. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing it, man.
Raul Trujillo is in it. Like he's amazing. He was, you see Apocalypto?
Yes.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies. I watched this before a lot of my fights because it's such a good movie.
Wow.
But he was of the native guys. He was like the main bad guy in that.
Okay. I remember that was I remember the whole big thing with that one was because Gibson was doing that with like no English. It was like and it's all, and I remember that being like a big thing after
Raul was amazing. He tied my movie together, man.
Did he?
Priest. Oh my God.
Okay.
Amazing. So yeah. So that happened. Cool.
All right. So what then? So you get these connections. You mentioned Carnahan. Now, did you know him previously?
What I mean, Joe. Yeah, because he's a big fight fan.
Yeah.
He put me on his movie Stretch. I encourage anybody to watch Stretch, man. It was ahead of its time. Like if it happened now, Stretch is a great movie, And I heard they might bring it back somewhere, but just it wasn't streaming back then and all that. So it kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. Anyway, he gave me a little part in that, and I met him there. And how did I really meet him? All I know is somehow he just appeared in my life, and one of those guys that's been a guy I can lean on, like in this business, like I can call him up, and he's a guy that has your best interest in mind, and it's not like what's this in it for me, and like
He's a real dude.
Hollywood's a lot of people have that zero sum attitude in Hollywood. Yeah.
He is. Well, so I had the pleasure of interviewing him. I told you we were texting when I was on Claire Live. He came in. I can't remember which movie he was promoting, but he was in, and we talked for a bit. I remember the conversation we had. It was very real. Yeah. And then at the end, going, I've always liked him, but I like him even more now because like there's not an ounce of fake on that dude.
You know what? Now I remember. I had a connection with him, and I called him. And I'm whatever. And then I said in one of my scripts, I really wanted to read my scripts. It's MMA based script. It's not really MMA, but it's the one that had a lot of heat on it, and I have people attached to it, and it's a real thing. And he finally read it, and he called me on the phone, and Keith, goddamn it, I gotta tell you, like this is one of the best scripts I read in the last bunch of years and whatever. And he talked to me about a half an hour about the dialogue, about whatever. He told me I didn't prompt him. He told me this is a Taxi Driver. And I mean, that's what he told me. And really, that's more of that's what it is. And it was one of the best calls of my life. And he's really, Keith, you're a real writer, and I want to help you do this script and all these things. One of the best calls I ever had.
That's cool. Was that recently?
No, that was a couple of years ago, probably. But that's what started that. Like, this guy, because with Joe, like he's a real guy. Like, in this business, and like you were talking about the comedy business, I respect about the comedy business so much. Is like fighting too. Is like you guys are in those back rooms, and you're watching the other people up and coming comics, and you see, are they really putting their work in?
Right.
Like, you gotta take your hits, man. Yeah. And Joe's that way too. Like you're not just gonna some MMA guy trying to be an actor. Like,
right.
Are you really putting the reps in?
Earn your stripes.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
And so now I got that respect, because I'm putting my 10,000 hours in.
And because we're kind of going back and forth. He's directing the movie with Ben and.
I went to the premiere. To the premiere. Was it last night? No, 2 nights ago, Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and I never really seen them like this before.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of him. Like he brought something different out of them. And the way they react with each other, I mean, they got this chemistry between them, but it's never been like this before.
Okay,
and it's good, man.
Okay, yeah, by the time this drops, it'll already be on Netflix. So I'm very excited to see it, and they were promoting the shit out of it.
Because it's good.
Yeah,
man. Netflix wouldn't get behind it any other way,
Yeah,
and you got to pay attention. I wish I had a theatrical release. Netflix is amazing, but a theatrical release because you can't be looking at your phone when you watch this movie because there's
a lot of detail. I like that.
There's a lot of twists. There's things you got to pay attention. Like every word, everything's on purpose.
Okay, good. I'm actually going to be doing. I do like these watches on the channel, so I'm probably going to do that one on the channel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
man.
I'll be watching it on the channel because
pay attention.
I will.
Yeah,
I will.
yeah.
I don't turn my phone on when I'm watching movies. I try to lock in, especially the fact that Joe's doing it, and like how intense that his movies are in general, and the fact that those guys are coming back, and then you got Jenna Taylor, who just won the Golden Globe, Best Supporting Actress. And it makes so much more sense, like, as you said, that Joe's a fight fan, because him and Frank Grillo are real tight. And Frank's like that.
Frank's amazing.
Frank's a great dude. I've had an opportunity to talk to him many times, and then he was just on Match Show recently. We're on Peacemaking. I have another movie guy. See how it all links in. It's amazing. Yeah. Cool. So
I got another movie coming out too.
What one?
We just announced it yesterday.
Okay.
It's going to premiere on Friday the 13th on South by Southwest.
Oh, wow. What's the movie?
It's Over Your Dead Body.
You directed?
No.
Wrote.
I got a really good part in it.
Okay. So you're acting in this one. So who's? Tell me about it.
It's Jason Segel and Samara Weaving.
Oh wow, cool.
It's me, Juliette Lewis, Timothy Oliphant, Jason Segel, and Samara Weaving. That's core.
It's a fucking good cast.
Core of the group.
Hell yeah. Who directed?
Yorma Taccone.
Okay.
He's an SNL guy. He did MacGruber. He did.
Sure. Okay, so this is a big comedy.
It's an action comedy.
Okay.
It's fucking funny, dude. It's what can I give away?
Okay.
A couple is going out on I can give this away. It's like a couple is going out on a camping trip, a cabin, and we're like, you guys are getting along again? Oh yeah, everything's fine. But they're actually, each of them are planning to kill each other.
Oh really? Okay. And so can you talk about your role at all? What you do?
Yeah, no, I'm a good guy. I don't know.
You don't want to give it away.
All I know is I tested really high on it, man. It's going to be really good.
I'm excited. I'm excited. That's great. So tell me the name of the movie again.
Over Your Dead Body.
Over Your Dead Body. Okay, and that's going to be, and that's at South by.
South by, yeah.
Okay, so shit, we gotta look out for that one. That cast alone is incredible. Good for you, man. That's amazing. Okay.
Things are hitting for me, man. Like I had the premiere here in New York with I had a theatrical run on my movie for a few weeks, but I missed the whole thing because I was out here. When I was out here on the Wednesday, on the Thursday, I got the call like, I'm in season 2 of Terminal List, and like,
oh right, yes,
and I knew it was coming up, but they give you a big old block like for the like 6 months or whatever. And
okay,
oh, you're out here in Morocco next week.
Wow. So that's so let's not sleep on that. Tell me about that. Tell us about Terminal List.
Terminal List is amazing. Chris Pratt is amazing.
Yeah.
Is being there. Terminal List is like, I got into writing and independent films and features, like hanging around Joe Carnahan, like just these groups of people that use the same people, and it's collaborating with people that you like and you want to work with. Yeah. And I love that. That's why I got my group of people and my circle, like my cinematographer, I always work with them and all that, and actors and all that. But series isn't always that way. Right. Series is like, you go to series and you punch your time clock and you go home, Right. And it's a different director every episode, and really the showrunners and the producers and the actors themselves are what carry the torch throughout the whole thing. This is it was more of like a feature, like where's a bunch of all these guys, all these producers, David, the showrunner, all these guys it's like a family there, man, and they're all operators. Mm-hmm. They're all real operators that are turned writers and producers and directors. And it's really cool to be in this family, man. Yeah. You go and you can go smoke a cigar afterwards, man. And it's so great, man. And like the calmness of it, like we were doing shots, like we got to make up this scene, and because we didn't get this thing, so we're gonna do this thing before lunch. So we're gonna tie all these scenes together, and it's not even written yet. And okay. And I just see all these guys standing around. It's almost like they're planning. They're all operators, and they're like planning a mission, like Jared and Kenny and all that. And what's his name? He's amazing. The warfare director.
Okay. I'll look it up for you.
He's amazing. Anyways, they're like planning an op. Okay, what would he say here? Oh, he would say this. Oh, and he would say this. And maybe he says this, and they're just writing the dialogue. They're writing the scene out right there with no pressure, and we got to do this in an hour before lunch.
Ray Mendoza.
Yeah. He's a beautiful, wonderful guy, man. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah,
it's good.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's like, top 5 war movies I've ever seen.
It's obviously very realistic.
Yeah. It's all the same group of guys. Yeah. Man. I had the same Private Ryan impact when I saw that movie.
Oh wow, okay.
Where it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is just like all these guys, and it's like, it's just some movies. It's not that big of a deal, and then we're gonna make this out.
Well, what I like about this entire thing, like listening to you talk about, obviously your passion for it, but like I like that you're getting into like different shit too, horror movies, action movies, comedy movies. I mean, that shows to me a real like someone who wants to learn the whole entire thing, plus just a movie fan in general, but. I can say what's next. I mean, you have so much on your plate already with the Terminal List stuff coming, with the South by movie, with your movie. What is next? Will you have more stuff coming out, or are you auditioning for more stuff? What's the goal?
Well, we got season 3 coming out for Terminal List. Okay. We don't know when that's going to be, but we got that. I got a movie. I got another movie coming out. I got another movie coming out too that's gonna be really good too. I just did ADR on that. It looks great. Okay. But my movies, it's really cool in this world. talking to those actors at the premiere, a lot of actors in the premiere, like the industry is different now. Like if you're not the top 0.5% that's bringing money to $1 million to the movie, like if you're not Batista and you're not Keanu Reeves, then you better be producing your own stuff.
Yep.
If you're waiting for that phone to ring, like that's death.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially in today, especially because even speaking of Matt and Ben, they were talking, I don't know if they were on Stern or where they were, but they were talking about how it's just so hard, even for them. Like why movies cost so much they do with theatrical distribution and everything, and how hard it is to get movies with profit, right? Yeah. And because you used to be able to make so much more profit back with like DVDs and Blu-rays and all that shit.
100%. And might kill me again. I tell you right now, like it's a great fucking movie. Everybody that watched it, everybody that's supposed to hate it, whatever loves this movie, is a great fucking movie. But getting distribution, getting a movie made is really hard. But it's not hard compared to getting distribution. Is actually pretty easy now. But getting people to watch your movie, that's a different thing.
There's so much shit. There's so much stuff that out there to watch. I mean, it's so true because I told you last time when you were here, and I've been talking about it on the channel quite a lot, is that I'm crowdfunding a pilot that I wrote, and it's like and we've got really big people involved in it, and even with those people, we still got to crowdfund and do stuff and make sure that we get things like moving, because what we want to do is we want to take the power out of, like, as you just mentioned beforehand, where if you're not writing stuff and doing stuff for yourself, you're fucked. We want to take the power out of the hands of saying, well, that's not ready. We don't want to buy that script. Like, well, we're not presenting a script. We're presenting a show. Mm-hmm. You take the show, you want to turn it into a series, give us money for the series. But like, this is a show, and we did all this without you guys. Yeah. And we're at a level, I don't want to make something that looks like it was made for like $1,000. I want to make something that looks like it's been sitting on Netflix already. And that's what you have the power of doing now.
And you can do that now.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You don't have to spend $50 million.
No way. No, you make it look good, and you can get like as I've found, like if you have the right project, if you believe in your project, if you're passionate about it, and other people are passionate about it, you can get anything done. Yeah. So
that's where I'm at. You asked me what's next. I got that MMA script I talked about. I do have somebody really good attached to that.
Okay.
And people that are interested in that. But
director or writer? Director or actor?
Actor.
Okay.
Actor. And I got another really funny neo-noir that I wrote that I'm going to be the lead in that.
That's cool.
I'm pushing that too. And I got another Western that the first thing that I ever wrote that people read, and I had some people attached to it, but it didn't work out. But that got my other stuff read. But that's a big budget Western. I got these things. But how long is it going to take for these things to happen, right?
Right.
So like, hopefully these will happen this year. Like, I'm good conversations, but if it doesn't, I'm still trying to come up with that cheaper idea that I can do. So I'm writing every day to come, what can I do under $2 million that I can shoot at the end of the year? Because I know I can get money for this at the end of the year if it's a good script.
Yeah.
So it's always working on, like, I'm not going to wait for these things to happen. I'm going to wait for 5 years.
And you shouldn't. And you don't, like, it really is. When you came into Matt's show, people behind the curtain for people, I usually sit over there and I'm listening to the conversation. I was very intrigued by your story, your conversation that you were having, and I was happy when you reached out, because I was like, yeah, man, we should we should talk about this, because this is you speak in my language, you know. So again, I want to congratulate you. I can't wait to see your movie, and I can't wait to see this movie at South by, which sounds incredible. So again, thanks for coming in, and one more time. So where people want to go check out Kim Again, where do they go?
Kim Again is on Prime and Tubi right now. It's everywhere you want to find it, but mainly Prime and Tubi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, please go check that movie out for sure. If you haven't watched Keith Jardine's fights, go and look at them. You talk about warrior. That's the man I'm sitting with today. So thanks for watching us. Really appreciate it. Comment, click like. I'll put a link in the description of where you can find Kill Me Again. We'll see you guys soon. Bye. Definitely a time for Prize Picks. Big game's almost here. No better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks. It always feels good to be right. And since the big game's right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before the next season. So close out right with Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. So it's pretty simple, is why I like it. I've been telling you about Prize Picks, and it's available. You download the app, you've been playing it. Look, check out where it's available. I've been playing it, so I've told you this beforehand. I had a friend didn't even know what a first down was, started playing on Prize Picks. Now, every Sunday, talking about the lineup, and now, especially with the big game coming up, getting really pumped. It's exciting, gets everybody amped up every time you watch the game. So the favorite thing for me about Prize Picks is you can pick multiple sports in the same lineup. With basketball back, you can put LeBron and Patrick Mahomes in the same lineup and root for both. I love that you can find your community on Prize Picks with the new social feeds feature. You can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups from winners with a single click. You copy lineups you like or use them as an inspiration for your own picks. You can even follow Prize Picks partners like us and tail or fade our picks with just one click. So a lot of fantasy leagues are already over, but with Prize Picks, you don't have to wait until next year's draft to keep playing fantasy. Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football every week, even in the playoffs. You pick your favorite players and win when they hit their projections every week. There's no draft required. You join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 sports picks app. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code Kristian. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Use that code Kristian. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Thank you to Prize Picks, and thank you to the great Keith Jardine. I love talking to Keith, man. He's a really genuine, just a good dude. And as I said at the end of that conversation, when he was in with Matt, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just intrigued with someone who you really using the same type of ethic and his work ethic and what he did for fighting and incorporating that into the struggle of acting and writing and directing and and having success. And he does it so quietly when he's talking about the success, the amount of projects that he's already been in and is still going to be in. When he was telling me the thing about South by, I was like, holy shit, that what a cast. And I feel like it's going to continue to get better for him because of the way that he carries himself. So I hope you enjoyed that conversation. It was a really good conversation. By the way, yesterday, Roxy Stryer was talking about a lot of different things on TV. And I said, keep on talking about some stuff. And hopefully the shows that she's continually pushing, watching every week, you guys get some suggestions. I said to Roxy, you know what you should be covering even more every week? For selfish reasons. Abbott Elementary. Cover that show. She did cover it yesterday. She'll probably cover it again. So I also want to get to this story before we get into your questions. 11 questions, so we're going to be off the air pretty fast. So let me get to this story. This dropped the full trailer for Masters of the Universe is dropping tomorrow. So I want to talk about the teaser thing that they put out there. So let's check out the news story anyway. Masters of the Universe trailer gets teased. So there is the picture, and you've got the photo right there, and Amazon MGM Studios has announced the first trailer for the upcoming live-action Masters of the Universe film will go online tomorrow. Ahead of that, they released a special 30-second teaser for the clip, one mostly about evoking the 80s time period of the original cartoon before showing off a few new shots from the film. In the footage, we get a glimpse of Adam, his sword, Eternia landscape, Idris Elba's Man-at-Arms, Battle-Cat, Tila, and potentially Kristen Wiig as Roboto. In the film, 10-year-old Adam crash lands on his mother's home planet Earth, separating him from his ancestors' power sword, Grayskull. 2 decades later, he takes his sword back. Two decades later? The whole point, he's supposed to grow up on all right. Yeah, just watch the movie before you judge. I can follow my own advice as he battles for his home planet, Eternia against the evil forces of Skeletor. All right. So this is if you watched my most anticipated movie list, one of the movies at number 10 was indeed Masters of the Universe. So I wanted to know what the tone was going to be. So I told you that someone I knew saw the movie in one of those test screenings, who was just as excited as I was to see the movie, and said, "I'm sad to tell you this thing plays more like Love and Thunder than anything else." It certainly looks like a Love and Thunder or Ragnarok feel from that trailer. Hopefully it's the latter. And a mixture of both the comedy and whatever it is. I hate the fact that I've said this, that he's went to Earth and stayed there for 20 years like Neo, and then finds the sword and then goes back to Eternia years later. I guess that's a way to get him to not be a kid younger. I don't know. The whole point is that he was a prince of Eternia and he was growing up there, and I don't like that element. But as I said, I haven't seen the movie. They might execute it really, really well. I'm still hopeful because of Travis Knight. I hold all of those keys to the castle. Listen, Travis Knight is a very good, again, filmmaker, storyteller. My worry and concern, again, is what the pitch was and the tone is, because from that trailer, they're going more so of playing into the nostalgia of that 80s feel. That's never the route that I really thought that the property should go if you wanted to give it longevity, but I could be absolutely mistaken, and this type of tone could work. We'll find out from the trailer tomorrow. You get a little bit more. But I'm definitely nervous. But I have faith in Travis Knight. So that's what I can say. But I also, why are they so scared about Orko? No Orko again. Why is everyone so scared of Orko? You can make him work. It's not like such a hard thing to. You can make Battle Cat. You can make Orko. Why are they so scared of Orko? Especially if you're doing the 80s version of this. I understand harder to do in the 1987 version, but if you're doing this in 2026 and you're basing it off that tone and you're putting in an attorney, how do you not get Orko? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. I'm looking forward to the entire trailer. It'll be out there tomorrow. What do you think? You like it? You not like it? Put your thoughts in there and let me know. Okay. Let's get to the questions. As I say, if you're new to this channel, we do a competition. Whoever's on the show, we try to beat those people and get the most questions via super chats. Right now, I'm at 11, so I'm in last place. It's my channel. I'm in last place, if that says anything. Roga's at 72 in the lead. Mike and Roxy could not do it yesterday. Some might say they shit the bed.
Did you shit in there?
So now it's up to me. And then last week's winner, Steph, will be back tomorrow. Let's start with our good buddy, Sean McCabe. I wanted to give a big shout out to the entire team. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for always bringing your A game. Thank you, Sean. This is such an amazing community, and the McCabe clan will always have your six. Much love. If there's anybody who I would hope to have our six, it's you, my friend. Excited, really excited to, share more news with you and the rest of the crew, obviously, but coming soon. And I think you're going to be pretty pumped. Seattle KO, support for Harloff. Thank you, Seattle KO. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Jardine, especially with that, your avatar there is pretty cool. James Diesel. Remember, Rick became the third EP on Mando too. Yes, he did. And that's probably why he's probably being involved more so in season 4, if they do it, for sure. And he had a new IP movie at Lucasfilm fall apart because they lost the rights. Oh, is that what it was? Matter of time before he had a new IP movie that he lost the rights to, not just the Star Wars thing. I hear what you're saying. Matter of time before he hits on something big. If I'm gone, I grab him up. I don't disagree. I really like him. I think he's passionate. I like him too. I'm with you. Fuzzy Bubbles 101. Any donkeys in space news? No, we broke the story here yesterday. They hit a snag in production, so we got to see what happens. But for right now, there's a snag. Chris Kraus 62820. 2-0. You get a blank check to do a TV show to rehab the sequel's image, a la Clone Wars for the prequels. What's your pitch? Pitch is I steal the money and make my own show that I'm working on right now. Does that count? I would put the money into that. But rehab the sequel's image, a la Clone Wars for the prequels. What's your pitch? Probably working on Luke's Jedi Academy and building that out and see how that works out. I was talking about this with Luke, the producer. I know that people aren't going to get on board with this, but this is the way. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's a certain generation that's not going to get on board with this, but we are getting to a place where, I mean, even look at Kathleen Kennedy is leaving Lucasfilm and she's going to work on AI stuff. Bob Iger is introducing AI stuff to Disney Plus, so people get up generated stuff. People are responsibly. Sora signed a deal with people. It's coming, whether or not we want it or not. It's coming, right? It's going to happen. It's Ben Affleck was talking about it. Chris Pratt was talking about it. It's gonna be part of the business. And eventually, I remember saying this, and this is before I even really knew what AI was. I said, eventually they're going to have the kind of technology where you're going to put a young John McClane in a movie. If Bruce Willis's family says, okay, yeah, you can have his likeness, you know, all this stuff, pay us, do what you want to do. That kind of stuff is going to happen. Now, whether or not it's going to happen in 5 years or 20 years, it's going to happen. And right now, the thing is, what we always used to say about certain things is that you're like, oh, well, we can just tell. And right now you can. You certainly can. It's getting better, but you can tell the robotic kind of dialogue still, even though the voices are getting better. The robotic dialogue, there's some things with their face, you can kind of tell quickly what it is. But Luke sent me this thing this morning that popped up on like TikTok or something. It was Varys from Game of Thrones talking about the Hedge Knight. And for like 10 seconds, I was like, is that an episode of the show that I haven't seen? I look forward to watching that with Sam. It's like, no, they made it to promote the show. So I think that there will be things that happen down the line with Luke and other things that will fall into this. I know that there's going to be people, especially my generation, your generation, that they're going to kick and scream, but eventually we will be phased out. And eventually that's where it's going to go. And it's going to be significantly cheaper to make this stuff than beforehand. When they really hammer down the technology, when you can fool us, and when the dialogue doesn't sound robotic and it seems real, and you can also get people who are writing scripts to put their scripts into it and it's executed into the thing, it's unfortunately going to happen. I know you can argue about it. Oh, it shouldn't happen. I'm not disagreeing with you. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the inevitability. You know what I'm saying? It's inevitable. It's going to happen, and it's the generations are going to push it forward. So, go pal. I'm realizing I like Jensen, but I can't remember seeing him anywhere but The Boys. IMDb says he was on Dark Angel with Jessica Alba and Dawson's Creek. Yes, he was, but he was also, I mean, Supernatural. That was where he lived like forever. That's where he built his audience from. I think I definitely told this to the audience. I revealed it recently. I had a very long, it might have been 2 days worth of conversations on a Skype call with Jensen Ackles and his wife, and a mutual friend. And we were very close to doing Supernatural Schmodown stuff, but it just didn't come to be. But that was during the pandemic. That would have been very interesting. Go pal. I never saw more than the pilot of Supernatural. Well, there you go. Fart. I agree. I absolutely 100% agree with that sentiment.
Did you shit in there?
All right. So next one after that little Yankee. Been a while, Kristian. Still in training. You're such a great interviewer. Thank you, little Yankee. I learned such interesting tidbits. Thanks and continued blessing. That's very, very kind of you. Yeah, I like talking to people, man. It's one of the things that when I went to the Critics' Choice Awards, I got an opportunity to sit at the same table with the with the K-pop ladies and with Alex Wu, both who I've interviewed, and they both had very kind things to say about the interviews, the conversations that we had, and it was nice because I mean honestly, it would be one of those things that I would like to do. I mean, it's one of the, if I could do it once a week and have a bigger guest every week, I would do it. I would do it, and I would want to do it. But booking out by myself with all this other crap, it's work, guys. People don't realize that this is actually work. Like, oh, what do? You get a real job. It's like you try to do this, like consistently trying to do, booking stuff. I mean, making content. Everybody who makes content, everybody who makes content who's consistently running a channel. Like even if you think, oh, all that person does is yell and scream about things, they're putting content out, they're doing things like it's work. It's work. Editing, making sure that the follow the consistency with the algorithm. But like when it comes to like guests, though, holy shit, that's a full-time job alone. Got PLD trying to do that now. See if we can get some more guests, but it's gonna be a bit. Go pal, man. Brendan Fair and Majandra Delphin. I was a huge Roswell fan back in the day. I didn't watch Roswell. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Okay. Go, pal. I heard Canon Films had $3 and half a sandwich to make Masters of the Universe in '87. If they had half a sandwich, I'd be surprised. What a disappointment that movie was. The Brandon Salad, really enjoyed your quick spot on Campia Show. That was fun. Yeah, it was fun. So that, for those of you who know, John had reached out. I think he reached out on Sunday night. I assume it was Sunday night. Yeah, because I filmed with him on Monday. That makes sense. And he asked me if I'd like to do a little spot on the show, and I said, yeah. It's he and I. It's so easy to. I told him at the end of it when he got off the air, it's like we should do a longer spot because 5 minutes for the two of us, it just goes like that. So if you want to see that spot, it's on Campia's show. He debuted it last night. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Next one after that. Michael, support for Kristian. Great interview with Keith. Thank you. I'm glad that you guys liked it. I enjoyed it myself. All right, 3 more, and then we're going to get off the air. Unless you want to keep us on, up to you. Chris Krause, lifting goals, 400-pound DL, be able to bench Roca. No, I'm not looking for mass. That's not what I want to do. I joked about it and I laughed about it with both Matt Serra and Stallone when I talked to Stallone, and I always wanted to be able to build out the chest, and that's been happening, so that's good. So that's one of the goals. But it's getting myself in shape, and plus the fact what I want to do is I told you guys yesterday. I want to I'm going to go on this 90-day like crazy diet, counting calories and do all that stuff too, because I feel like we're getting closer and closer to eventually, we hit these goals for the show and we start shooting. I want to be ready, and the character calls for it. So there you go. James Diesel 1468. I loved Darth Bane 1. Need to start 2. It's so good. I want Miguel Sapochnik to do it as a show and Alexander Ludwig as Bane. I would love. Listen, I try not to dive deep into my wants on those novels because I know we're never going to get it. Because it's more realistic and understandable. If I was an executive at Disney and someone was like, "Hey, we want to do a Darth Bane movie, 3 movies, or we want to do a Darth Plagueis novel movie," I'd say, what's our budget? Because I'm not feeling that, and we might surprise you to hear that because like it's way harder to get people on board to support a villain movie as opposed to a villain TV show. A villain TV show all day long. I'm greenlighting those all day long. And that's why they do pretty well on television. And you do those kind of I would love to see. That's what I thought Acolyte was going to be. You can make the argument that they tried to do that, and if you watch the whole thing and the way that it ends, you're like, well, see, it's kind of It's kind of lazy. I would like to see them actually adapt their books, though. That would be great. I just don't see it happening. Drawed JA846 been confirmed. Christina Hodson is writing The Brave and the Bold. Has it been actually confirmed? I know that Snyder had put it out there, but is it Brave and the Bold? And who is Christina Hodson? I don't know who that is. Let me see. Christina Hodson. Okay. So what did Christina Hodson write? Birds of Prey, Batgirl, Fast X Part 2, and The Flash. Nathan Drake, 253. So is Famke a liar about Doomsday? That X-Men writer said she was in the movie. It's possible. It's possible. She could have been lying to me. It's possible. I don't know, though. I could see her being in it, but man, look, Andrew Garfield lied too when Horowitz asked him. So it wouldn't be the first actor who lied about it, but I had to ask. Gopal, it was that first as bench 2 Rokas. Hell of a goal. 2 Rokas, Roka's lighter now, so maybe. Nathan Drake, is Kira supposed to be in Shadow Lord? I don't know. Apparently the trailer is coming out for it, and enough people have asked me about it. I'll watch the trailer for it. I told you the main reason I'm excited is not the word, but the main reason I'm intrigued about that is because I know that Sam Witwer is a producer on it. Sam deserves this shot to try to produce his own thing, and I think that would be great. So let's see. We'll see tomorrow. Sean, I really like the idea of Ackles as Batman. Sorry, Kristian, I know you're backing Sklenar. Who do you like for Robin? I say Aidan Gallagher. Well, first of all, Ackles was on my list. I wouldn't be upset if he got it because I think he could pull it off and I think he'd be pretty good. And depending on how much time has passed, and I think they're going for an older Batman if they are doing the Brave and the Bold storyline. So, and I don't know as far as Robin goes. I don't know. I don't know enough. Is Aidan Gallagher actually? You know what? Is that the kid from? Let me see. It might be the same kid that we're thinking of. If it is, I'm with you on this. Hold on. Is this the kid? Where is he? Hold on. Well, how'd that happen? Aidan Gallagher. Come on, Aidan Gallagher. Let me see. I think it's the kid that is it from the Umbrella Academy? That kid? Yes, that's the kid I was thinking of too. Yeah, he's 100%. I actually asked when I had David Castaneda on, I asked him about that. That's a clip that's on there. Ludwig is excellent on Heels. Great show, but very sad. Yeah, I saw the first season of Heels, says Gopal. And I liked the first season. I never watched the second season. Both Bonnie Somerville played CM Punk's wife or something on that, which is hilarious. Gopal follows it up. I'd also love to see Mrs. Ackles in more stuff. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe she will as the star grows, as they say. Gopal keeping us on. Always rooting for Witwer. Yeah, for sure. Former Star Wars champ. Okay. So I guess that's it. And that's fine today. Tomorrow we got myself and Steph on the show. So I think that we are having a fun week so far. People have been asking about Game of Thrones, and I'm glad we've gotten already 2 out of there. Next, when I get off the air with you guys today, I'm going to start to put together the schedule for the rest of the reactors. I haven't had anybody else in because I've still been recovering from the LA trip. And now I can start kind of getting back to my normal schedule. So, all right. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And we will see you guys on tomorrow's show with Steph, who has a chance. Has a chance to take out Mike. Well, not take out Mike, take out Roka at 72. Roka's holding the spot at 72. Here's the 25th. Mark Jason Elliott. Famke is in it. Why do you want to know 11 months out from the release? Ackles for Batman. I think that's a fair point. If you can keep it secret, Mark, it's just, I guess the answer is this. Why would I want to know? Because she's the only surprise. It's like, is that you've already got they've already announced, Patrick Stewart coming back, Ian McKellen, James Marsden, Hugh Jackman. Like, it's if nobody was announced, then no, I wouldn't want to know. But it's like the rest of your whole crew has been announced. So it's not. Is it that big of a reveal? I don't know. James Diesel 1468 Demon Slayer. Probably not, my man. Those videos ate duty and cost me a lot of money. Cost me a lot of money. They ate duty. The hardcore fans were watching. Nobody else was. So I got to find new things for Winston and I to watch because I'd like to eventually finish it, but I can't. I just can't. It's just fiscally irresponsible to try to keep doing that. Nobody was watching them. Towards the last episode, I think did okay, but overall, the entire series for what Winston and I were doing just didn't work. Someone says Ackles is kind of old, isn't he? I think he's like 40, but from what they're doing but if they're doing the Brave and the Bold Batman, he's supposed to be in his 40s. So no. Okay. Thanks again, everybody. I appreciate everything that you've been doing. I'll appreciate all the support. Thank you to Keith Jardine. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors here today. And that's it. So I appreciate you. We'll see you guys on the flip side. And unless there's any other questions. Nope. That's it. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.